Hello, brothers and sisters. Depression update number 2. So I was feeling a lot better after New Year's Eve and just taking care of myself, getting back to exercise, getting outdoors, getting better sleep, eating better. And this trip I just did to Minneapolis for a couple of days just kind of sent me right back down again. It's hard to admit that I'm fragile at the moment and that I'm not as resilient as I normally am, because just the early morning flight, the full day of work, the disrupted sleep schedule, not getting access to the kind of food that I need to eat, or not having it be as easy as I need it to be, just fucking threw me off. And today when I was flying back from Minneapolis, I just dipped right back down again, and same thoughts, even worse, like same thoughts, just like, this isn't worth it. I was fucking crying on the flight. And I'm so grateful for my partner and fiance Morgan, because when I got back, she was so loving and just let me know how normal this is, how depression is a bitch. It's a tricky little motherfucker. And I suspect that from a spiritual perspective, I'm being tested, and this is a big challenge because I've changed a lot in my life. I left my job. I became a consultant. I'm trying to start a business that helps men deal with the challenges of modern life and to have a safe place. And I've always got to go through whatever it is I'm going to teach, or whatever might walk through the door. And it's tough. Apparently this is really normal. So what I've done is I've booked a session with a psychologist next Friday, which feels like a good step forward, but it also feels really defeating. Like, that's where I'm at, where I need to go see somebody about how I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop taking care of myself, because I think that's ultimately what makes the difference. I could go see a therapist for years and not take care of my sleep, not take care of my diet, not take care of my body, not take care of my stress levels. But the pressure to earn might be what's at the center of this, because I was really good at making really good money when I was working in the corporate world, and now I'm trying to make the same money with a coaching practice, and by leading retreats, and by offering online courses, and it's totally new. And I think it's a test. I think it's a test of, am I willing to keep going and go through this dark place, go through this low point to come out the other end? Or am I going to be tempted and lured back into perceived safety of a corporate job, or something that I'm familiar with? Like, the ego's like screaming in the light. Get back in your hole. Get back in your hole. Get back in the comfort zone. You've gone too far outside your comfort zone. You've gone too far outside your capacity. So I'm in that fear zone that's right outside the comfort zone, and what goes beyond fear is learning and growth. But I've stepped up so much that the counter force is like pushing me back. And Morgan pointed out that, like, I'm challenging the status quo. I'm saying that the way that men are, and the way that we've been taught to behave, and what we've been taught to do with our stress and with our habits and our desires is really unhealthy. And there's even a lot of men's courses out there that would probably just tell me to man up and get over it. And I just don't stand for that. And maybe this is one of those lessons where I have the authority now to say, like, no, that's not the way out, because that's what I used to do. I used to just push so hard and get more burnt out and more stressed out, and my well-being would get worse. And it's a tricky son of a bitch. So I'm doing okay. I'm not going to do anything crazy, and being in communication with my fiance, being in communication with men in my life that care about me and I care about them, and sharing with you helps. So if this makes a difference for you, I'm so glad. And if you've experienced similar things, and you are experiencing similar things, just know that you're not alone. There's at least one other person right now who's going through these darker times, the shadow work. So here's the work. All right, I'll keep checking in. Bye.